Good morning. Everybody's up, huh? So appreciate the opportunity of being here. Big kudos to the BI team for organizing this nice event. So very well organized, and I'm certainly happy to be here today. The first thing we're going to talk about is application of claim sequencing. And so what is claim sequencing? A little bit, we're going to step back and reflect on why would you need that tool to start with, right? So the background when you might need this claim sequencing is you may have pigs that are already vaccinated, either the pigs or the source of the pigs. Maybe the sow herd was vaccinated with an MLV. And then you wonder, are pigs, they're going to test positive by PCR, and the question is, are they positive for the vaccine virus, or are they positive for a wild-type virus of some sort? Or are they positive, maybe they're positive for both. So if you do a regular PCR, PCRs will not differentiate, not the conventional PCR won't. And then if you submit for a regular OR5 sequencing, you may get a lot of times, if you have dual infections, MLV and wild type, chances of sequencing the MLV first is just higher. It is what it is. But then a lot of times you have a wild type, a OR5 sequencing that's indicating it's MLV virus, but the pigs don't lie. Maybe there's mortality, maybe there's clinical signs, so things are not compatible, right? And then that's when you bring this claim sequencing into play to really understand, do I have a wild-type infection behind that MLV vaccine? So the claim sequencing is going to be specific to the vaccine that you're using. So if you're using Injovac MLV, you're going to choose the claim sequencing for Injovac MLV. And what the sequencing does is, so the Injovac MLV is a known virus sequence. And so it's going to clamp, like the name suggests, going to bind, it's going to clamp to that Injovac MLV sequence. And then if you have wild type and the MLV sequence at the same time, that clamp is going to prevent the known MLV virus to be sequenced. So the output of the clamp sequencing is going to be the wild type if that wild type is present. So claim sequencing is actually a sequencing, the lab is going to perform both sequencing simultaneously with and without the clamp. And then the results are a 2x2 table showing what you saw in each of those sequencing assays, the with and without clamp. And then so it's going to clamp to the MLV if it's there. So the different combinations will be, well, it's really only the MLV or MLV and wild type, or one or the other. How much wild type do I need to detect with the claim sequencing if it's co-infected with the MLV? It could be as little as 10% with the clamp. Without the clamp, you really need a high amount of wild type present in the sample, right? And then that's what the clamp is useful for. Even if you have a lower amount of wild type, you clamp, so you block that known MLV virus, and then you can still detect that wild type that's in the sample width. So as low as 10% wild type present in the sample, you can still detect it with this clamp sequencing method. So in summary here, sometimes people say clamp PCR. Clamp is not a PCR, clamp is a sequencing, right? And then you perform the sequencing with and without the clamp to be able to get that 2x2 table and understand if you have wild type and MLV or both or one or the other. It's used for that very specific diagnostic problem or diagnostic question, right? I know that I have MLV in my flow because I vaccinate the pigs or I vaccinate the sows where the pigs come from. So now I want to understand if I have wild type presence or not in that pig population. How does it work? A long story short, it blocks the MLV sequences and tries to sequence the wild type when you have that dual infected pig population. And with that, Oliver, that's the short presentation about clamp sequencing. Thank you.